broadcasting live from an undisclosed location. This is the TCMMA podcast with your host, Chris Cross.
Whoa!
Dana White privilege.
Let's go, baby! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go, baby!
Dana White privilege. Privilege. Privilege.
What's happening? This your boy Chris Cross checking in. This is the Community MMA, aka the TCMMA podcast. So last night, UFC Vegas 96, Cannonier versus Barralho, ended up being a great main event. We didn't get a finish. It went to a decision. Caio Barralho pretty much dominated, especially down the stretch, and he gets the win. He's going to be potentially a top 5, top 6 guy, and there wasn't much drama there as far as getting the finish. But there was a lot of drama up and down this card. I didn't expect it. I did not expect it. Almost wasn't looking forward to this thing last night. My Florida State Seminoles fell yesterday, so of course I'm in a state of depression, I guess you would say, for a few hours. Like, I don't want to watch any sports. But then all of a sudden, you kick this thing off, you get a big finish, then you get a bunch of decisions in a row, but then you have a bunch of finishes in a row. So it ended up being a solid night. At the end of the day, I did not expect that. I thought it was going to be like a lackluster night, but there were some big finishes. The Ultimate Fighter finale went down last night in 2 fights, and, all in all, a good night. But listen, the judges are off the chain. Once again, these judges, dog, these judges. It's like you have split decisions where it's like 29-28, 29-28 for one guy. Then the other judge is 30-27. There was one fight where clearly the guy didn't win 3 rounds, and they gave him 3 rounds. So you just had all this craziness going on. I think at one point there were 2 or 3 split decisions in a row. And you remember the previous week at UFC 305, the judge ended up getting removed. So there's all types of crazy stuff going on. But we had a great night last night. There were several fights we predicted right. Almost had a perfect night.
I told y'all, baby.
I tried to tell y'all, stick with me. Sometimes people get mad because they're like, first of all, these are just a preview, in my opinion, of the fight. So don't ever, if you put money on something, don't come back and blame me later. Okay? But if you are, take a look at the whole card, not just one fight. People put money on one fight and then come back and say, you were dead wrong. But then at the end of the night, I'm like 11-3. We do have some bad weeks too, but for the most part, we have some solid nights back to back to back to back. Losing record is few and far between, at least as of right now. So you got to do your own homework as well. I'm just here to provide you with a preview. But listen, let me stop hollering about that. Let's get into what went down last night. And I want to start with Wang Cong, who was making her UFC debut. Yes, she's fighting Victoria Leonardo, who seems to get KO'd every week or every fight. But still, you got to come in and make something happen. And this is how it went down last night in her UFC debut. It's clear already that Wang Cong has power. Just not connecting. A lot of lead leg kicks. I like it. And utilizing the jab a lot. She comes with a nice left-right combination. Backs her up with a jab. Now lands a right. Takes one, though. First 45 seconds gone. What a leg kick there. So she's got all the skills. She's only 5-0, right? And already a must-win against it. Oh, a big right hand by Wang, and that's it. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. Okay. Yeah, so Wang Cong is as good as we thought. Oh, my goodness. See, and you don't see that a lot in the women's fighting. You see it from time to time. But that power, yeah, is going to be a problem for other flyweights, that's for sure. And you got to worry about everything. Lead leg kicks, all types of leg kicks, combinations, jabs, powerful right hand, submission ability. Yeah, she got her. Yeah, she got her. So big win already for Wang Cong. 1-0 in the UFC, just like that in about a minute. 6-0 overall. Women's flyweight division, UFC Vegas, 96. Yeah, so she's going to be a problem. I mean, she came out and just dominated that fight very quickly. Ooh-wee. And when you do that, you make a name for yourself. And then she's upset with the UFC because she's in the first fight of the night, which shows you she understands what's going on. Like, the first fight of the night is not where you want to be on a fight night card, but it's her debut. You got to come in and do something, and she did. And now, she'll get a bigger fight. The best part is she took the judges out of this thing. These judges, dog, these judges. You don't want the judges to come back and sting you at the end. You got to go ahead and just come in and get a finish, and that's what she did. So credit Wang Cong. We're going to see her again. Please believe it. But she looked good in the UFC debut. Now, in another one that I was highly interested in, Edmund Shabazian versus Gerald Meerschaert. It did not look good for Meerschaert early on. But listen, my man came through in the end, just like I told y'all he would. Shabazian's got him backed up in the defense, and Gerald gets out of it. Boy, he looks tired. And he's just slowing down, man. I'm surprised. I expected more from him. Ooh, a big right, big left. Okay, Gerald. Okay. Now a nice knee to the body by Edmund. 2 times. And a big right. Oh, my goodness. It's amazing Gerald Meerschaert's holding on here. 1:15 left in round 2. Now he jumps in for the takedown. He gets it. He's going to get on top. Look out. Okay. Yes, sir. This is not where you want to be against Gerald Meerschaert. Oh, he's got the D'Arson. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. Yeah. He tapped. Let's go, Meerschaert. I told y'all, baby. Yeah, there's a little doubt there, but I told y'all. And Meerschaert was down and out in this round. Was definitely going to lose this round. At one point, it was 43-6 in significant strikes by Edmund, and Gerald goes right to the bench, man. Right to the stool. He sits down. Yeah, he's tired. And we're only 2 rounds in here. But what a finish by Gerald Meerschaert. On the ground. Once he gets on top, he's just a tough individual to deal with. You can't be on your back or on the ground with Gerald Meerschaert. Both guys sitting down. They look exhausted. And we didn't even get through the second round. But nonetheless, Gerald Meerschaert gets the win here. Middleweight division, man. And check out this record. 37-17. Big win for him. UFC Vegas. 96. Yeah, so Gerald Meerschaert was the man last night. I told y'all, baby. Sometimes people weighing in the comments talking about you don't know what you're talking about. Edmund Shabazian is gonna dominate Meerschaert. No way. I told y'all. I told y'all, baby. Tried to tell y'all. And I really tracked these guys that Hamza Chimaev beat, right? Gerald Meerschaert, 17 seconds. And then after Hamza beats him, he goes 4-1 in the next 5. And then still shows you in fights like last night. And I get it, Shabazian's not like one of the premier guys in the division. But it's still a UFC fighter, a tough fight. So you just think, oh, Meerschaert's not that good. Hamza beat him in 17 seconds. No. The guy still wins a lot more fights than he loses. The guy's been in the octagon for 55 fights. And Hamza shut him down in 17 seconds. So then I follow these guys to see. Is it true what people are saying? Oh, they're not that good. They're washed up. No. Meerschaert's still winning, man. He's still winning. And you notice in that fight, Hamza did not attempt to go to the ground. Of course, it was early. But that, he knows his opponent. And he's like, okay, this guy's got a good ground game, so I'm just going to, go after him on the feet and finish it that way. And that's what you got to do if you're Hamza. But Gerald Meerschaert is a guy I like, man, and respect. And he looked good last night. Make no mistake about it. Now, as we continue, you had Neil Magny versus the undefeated Michael Morales. Check this out. Neil Magny trying to get off the mat, but he can't. Michael Morales in firm control on top now. And everything changed after that elbow. It was all Neil Magny with control time. On the takedown, Morales worked his way back up. Now he's on the feet. Magny's on his back. Nice leg kick. And Morales is not going to let him up. Oh, he pounds away now. Uh-oh. Neil Magny's covering up. Look at his full mount. Oh, my goodness. Neil Magny's just trying to hold on. 40 seconds left in round one. Now Neil Magny's going to roll. Don't roll to your stomach. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Neil Magny's in a world of trouble right now. Oh, he spins to his stomach. That's not good. Morales has the back here. 25 seconds left. And look at this. He's covering up. And Morales is pounding away, and that's it. The ref steps in with 21 seconds left in round one. And Michael Morales moves to 17-0. And this guy is a serious problem in the welterweight division. And now you're looking at like 6 or 7 guys in this division that are all capable of winning the title at any given time. Chasing Bilal Muhammad. Certainly impressive because Neil Magny's one of those guys. It's lanky. He's going to get into your body. He's going to take you down. He's going to, try to take your back, things of that nature. And he was doing that. And then Morales worked his way out of it. All of a sudden, a spinning elbow changed everything. And in the final 45 seconds to a minute after that elbow, it just changed everything. And Morales ends up getting the finish over a top 12 guy. Number 12, Neil Magny. So big win for him. 17-0. Welterweight division, UFC Vegas, 96. Yeah, so the bottom line is what you need to take from this is that Michael Morales is undefeated, has a lot of wins, and he's going to be a problem in the welterweight division for a long time. And so are other guys like Shavkat Rakhmonov. He's still got all the old heads like Colby and Usman still up there. Leon, Bilal's the champ. So it's just, this division is ridiculous as far as I'm concerned. I've always liked the welterweight division, especially when Hamza was in there, but he's just too big now. So, but still, this division, it's either 1 or 2 right now in all the UFC. Please believe it. Now, you also had some other big fights last night for the Ultimate Fighter finale, and the first one was Con Offley versus Myron Santos, and I knew this was going to be an interesting fight. Didn't know which way to go, but we went with Myron Santos. Did it pay off? Let's see. Nice defense by Santos and lands a flying knee on the way in. 4 minutes left, round 2. And he's beginning to pick up the pace. I mean, over the first 6 minutes of the fight, he's just getting better and better. Clearly establishing dominance in the octagon. And he lands another jab, blocks a leg kick. And it's amazing how much bigger he looks at featherweight than his opponent, Con Offley. And he just does a good job of keeping him off the jab. Oh, big right by Santos. And he finishes Offley, who came in and landed a right. Oh, my goodness. And Offley is done. Myron Santos is running around the octagon. He's about to cry because he just won the Ultimate Fighter featherweight final. It started with 8. And we got 1 guy left, and that's Myron Santos. And I had a chance to watch some of the episodes, but not all. But you can clearly see on the way up that he was going to be dominant and had an opportunity to win this thing. Con Offley looked good too in the first 2 fights, but Myron Santos is on a different level. This guy's now 15-1. And we've seen guys go through the Ultimate Fighter and become a champ, like a Kamaru Usman and others, a lot of others. Now we got Myron Santos, Brazilian, 15-1, featherweight champ of the Ultimate Fighter here at UFC Vegas, 96. Yeah, and you got to like the fact that the guy that won the Ultimate Fighter is 15-1. So that's a nice prospect coming into the UFC. And with Contender Series going on right now, you're going to see 35 to 45 new fighters in the UFC by the time October is done. And Myron Santos is going to be one to keep an eye on. Please believe it. But congratulations to him for winning the Ultimate Fighter. Now, there was another match that was highly intriguing. You had Robert Valentin versus Ryan Loder. We went with Ryan Loder, but make no mistake, we recognize how good Robert Valentin is too, and I expect that, both of them to be in the UFC regardless of how this fight goes. But this is how it went down after a great round one. This is, I believe, round two. Wow, now Ryan Loder's got the crucifix. Got both the left arm and right arm tied up and utilizing the elbow now. Robert Valentin trying to do anything he can to roll out of this, but it's a tough position. And Loder just pounding away with the elbow, left elbow. Mark Smith looking at it here. And Valentin is wiggling. He's trying to do anything he can to roll out of this, but Loder's not going to let him. Of course, his corner's saying keep him there. Absolutely. And he continues to pound away with the elbow. Mark Smith saying you got to do something. And Ryan Loder continues to hold the position. Valentin cannot roll out of it. He's just taking elbow after elbow. Mark Smith is looking at it, and it's getting close here, simply because he's just taking it. Oh my goodness. Come on, Loder, finish this thing, baby. Finish this thing. Yes! Yes! The dog pays off, baby. Ryan Loder gets the win as the dog to win the middleweight title in the Ultimate Fighter, and man, he is pumped up and definitely in trouble. Almost submitted in round one, and he closes the door on Robert Valentin. So impressive win by Ryan Loder. He's going to move to 9-1, and he'll get the UFC contract here at UFC Vegas 96. And I like both prospects. Myron Santos 15-1, Ryan Loder 9-1. So you got two guys that are well deserving of winning the Ultimate Fighter. And Ryan Loder took on a very tough Robert Valentin. But that crucifix position, when you got both arms tied up and you can't even defend yourself, is game over. Absolutely game over. And Robert Valentin had to take it. And it wasn't even like big shots, but it's just continued. And the fact you can't get out of that and defend yourself, the ref has no choice but to stop it. And Ryan Loder gets the win. Now, as far as last night, check this out. We're in mid-season form now. Well, late season, really. As we get to the end of August. But we go 9-2 last night. Wang Cong wins. Cavalcanti wins. Borchev wins. Zach Reese wins. So now all of a sudden we're 4-0. And you're thinking, okay, a perfect night potential. But then Denise Bazookia loses. So there goes the perfect night. And, it's 29-28 the other way. And then one judge gave Bazookia 30-27. It's just ridiculous. But then we're back in the win column. Mearshart wins. Morales wins. Santos wins. Loder wins. And it looks like, oh, gosh, Bazookia is going to be the reason we don't have a perfect night. But then Angela Hill fell. That was our second loss. And then Caio Barralho, who we had winning, gets the win. And suddenly we're 17-12 in the main event after starting 4-7 on the year. So we're 13-5 over the last 18. We'll take it. 215 and 138 overall. So things are looking good right now as we begin the final push in the last 4 months of the year, September through December, when things are really starting to heat up. We like the record, and we'll take it, man. We will absolutely take it. So that's the way it went down last night. Now let's jump into the Q&A. A lot of good comments. You had RS Pen, something like that, said good prediction on Wang Cong. Yeah, that was an easy one though. I mean, if she would have lost that fight, I would have been surprised. Wang Cong looked really good in her UFC debut, and there's going to be a lot of people talking about her, but she's going to need a big fight over the course of the next 2 or 3 to really make a name for herself. But it started off well. Problem is her opponent gets KO'd every week. At AL or Ali Make, something like that. Bro, shut the heck up. You told us to bet on Hill. First of all, I never say bet on any. I'm not a big fan of betting. I don't bet. In 5 years, I think I put money on 1 or 2 fights. But this is a thing again, when someone takes one fight and puts all their marbles into that one fight. And I try to tell you, look at the overall record, 9-2 last night. Okay, so we lost Angela Hill. It's going to happen. And it was a decision. And she outstruck Tabitha Ricci. But Ricci had more takedowns and control time, more head strikes, so she deserves to get the win. But listen, it was a close fight. You know? We got 730 saying she didn't win the last fight. It was a draw, and it should have went this way. Talking about Grass over Shevchenko. Yeah, I misread that in the prediction. The last fight was actually a draw. And many people believe Shevchenko won that fight. So, of course, now you get the trilogy. And, you know, the sky's the limit for Valentina Shevchenko. I think she's got the capability of winning this thing and getting the title back. And then we may see a fourth fight. Because now, you know, if Shevchenko wins, they're 1-1-1 against each other. It's basically even. So Grasso has a case that if she loses this fight, that she gets a rematch. So we'll have to see how it plays out, though. But that's going to be a great co-main event in the Sphere. Speaking of Wang Cong, another weighs in, says that she looked amazing. Very excited for her future. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt about it. But Peter says, if we are being fair, though, 5 of Leonardo's last losses are all by KO or TKO. She is just a can they keep around to be crushed. Big ups to Kong, but not surprised. Yeah, and you know, your UFC debut, they're going to give you a softball, especially if they believe that you're the future. They're going to protect you early on and give you fights they know that you can win, even though she's barking like she wants bigger fights. But they're going to bring her along slowly, as they should. You know, as they should. Andres Manzo said, hope it hits, bro. Talking about Denise Bazooka, and it didn't. It did not hit. It was not good. At Giovanni Higgins, something like that, says, I think Medina will do well tonight. Of course he didn't, especially after learned some techniques in Thailand and Mexico. He had a trainer before. He is a veterinarian who, though himself, or taught himself how to fight, he finally got his knee injury done. He will be able to fight better tonight. Yeah, I mean, and Medina didn't fight bad, but Zachary Reese is just too good right now. It's just too good. Amazing Asian says, no chance for Vyacheslav Borshev to beat James Yantop, but he did. He ended up getting the win. You got New York Original saying the Angela Hill Tabitha Ricci fight is very, very tough fight to predict, but I see quite a lot of people are backing Angela Hill, and that's because she's well liked. I mean, she's well liked, so you got to go with Angela Hill, especially in a close fight, and she always fights well. And it looks like when in the numbers that she might get the decision, but she's lost a lot of close fights in fights where she outstruck the opponent. And it's very tough to fall that way, but that's the way it went down for Angela Hill last night. So all in all, a good night of fighting. You can't ever say you didn't expect it to be a great night, because that's the way the UFC is. Just when you think it's going to be a boring night or not. I mean, I like the main event with Cannonier and Barralho, but it ended up being a great, great night in terms of finishes. The Ultimate Fighter, you had back-to-back finishes. You know, you get the Ultimate Fighter, you want to see a finish. You want the Ultimate Fighter to be a guy that gets a finish, and in both fights we got that. So it ended up being a great night. Make no mistake about it. But listen, that'll do. We're going to be back very soon with the Contender Series Week 3 prediction, so stay tuned for that. But for now, this is your boy Chris Cross. Hope you have a great day, and God bless. As always, peace.